guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to show you how to apply foundation two different types of ways. I have just a foundation here by Maybelline Fit Me. I also have a liquid MAC here. I have a stick, which maybe I should use that instead, but I'm going to show you just how to the two ways you can apply that. Okay, some of the things you want to use before applying the foundation would be a primer, a pore minimizer, whatever you choose to use. Because I have dry skin, and I stated in my previous video about some of the skincare products, would be my moisturizing hydrating primer. This one I use, they have for matte, if you want to use for matte, oily skin. I use this one. It helps keep the makeup on, as well as using a pore minimizer. I know it's not really good to use these, but because sometimes these pores right up in here can be very large sometimes, I like to use this. I try not to, but in times that I want to have that smooth photo finish, I do use it. So I will today show you on how to do that. So the first step would be to apply your first your skincare products, which I have already done in my previous video. I've toned, used my serums, I've moisturized, everything that I needed to do to prepare before I do this step. So this one here I would start with is the hydrating primer. What I'm gonna do here is pour a little bit here. I wing this because sometimes I feel like I need more, so I use more. I need a tad bit for the forehead and some for down here. So the next step, what I'm going to do now is apply some of this foundation. I like to warm it up on my wrist here, on my hand. So I let it sit there for a few. This one I think I'm going to be applying with my brush here that I have. This is my Morphe Y7. It is a foundation brush. So what I like to do here, you have your choice of either putting some here if you wanted to do that. I simply just dab some here and then I go in here. So depending on your foundation you use, some don't require a lot and some do. Okay, you can also just sweep it over. It's up to you. So if you need to get in there by your nose, you can do that. So I like to get here, and any remainder I have, I just go back in. I even go a little bit like this to use all of it, because for those of you that do makeup know it's not cheap. So this here is my full coverage by MAC. It is the matte, so it just depends on which one you like. So I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that's half. And then the next one I'll be applying would be with a sponge. I am actually gonna not use the Maybelline since that is liquid as well. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever HD stick. So what I do is, some people don't do this. That's fine, that's totally up to you. But because it's a stick, I go in with a sponge. I feel like a brush. I don't like to use a brush. So today I'll be trying out my new beauty creations. So some nice little unique. And what I do here is I just pat it and beat the face. Well, just go in there. I like the Makeup Forever because I'm dry, so that gives me a more hydrated look. Then this one gives me a more matte. I definitely learned that with using a hydrating foundation, you do have to set it because you'll start to like kind of like oil up a little bit. It by all means doesn't move the foundation, but it definitely gives you the hydrating look that you were looking for. Sometimes even maybe too much if you don't set your foundation. So just go in here. Make sure I get in here so that your face is not two different colors. Still got some. Just like to make sure that I get the and then I'll show you the, it still does its job. Still does everything it's supposed to do. It's just whichever finish that you want. I do notice that with this Morphe brush, it doesn't leave streaks like some brushes have done before. You just have to trial and error and find your own method. So by all means, there's nothing wrong. One is not better than the other. Make sure that I go in there. Sometimes you just need to go in there with a little bit more foundation, but I think I'm fine. This looks okay to me. And then you always make sure to get under here as well. You know, no true foundation is, oh my god, it looks just like the neck, but majority does an amazing job. So as long as you blend the two, you'll be fine. So I hope that you can see the two sides here. This one's a little bit more matte compared to this one. Right now this looks matte, but as it sets and oxidizes, a lot of times you'll see the difference. So that is the two here that I have. A good way to set your foundation is with a setting powder, or let's see if I have that here. It's just up to you which one you want to use. I also use a setting spray. The one I use is from Urban Decay. This one's all-nighter, but I use it at any time. So once you have your powder put on, if you do use powder, I don't use, some people press powder throughout the day. If you want to do that, you can. If you want to use those papers that soak up in the oil, you can do that as well. So it's just perfectly up to you which one you want to use. I do have my bag here of goodies, things that I keep. Anything from masks to sprays. I like to give myself a little hydration spray. So what I like to use is this facial moisture surge by Clinique. I also have, which I ran out of, the makeup by MAC, the spray with them. So just spray a little bit here. So I like to do that before I set my face with a setting spray. It's totally up to you which one you use. I feel like there's no right or wrong, so that is your choice. Now, if I was to do my foundation and do my eyebrows, then you know you're all set to go ahead and spray with your spray here. But because this is just a tutorial on how to put foundation on, this is what I'll use. You'll dab a little bit of powder and you'll just some people like to bake. By all means, if that's for you, that's great. I do slightly for like maybe less than 5 minutes because I'm dry, it's just gonna cause more dryness here. Definitely don't want that. So you just dab a little of that setting powder here and you just work it in there, you know, work it in here, and you don't need a lot. You just apply just very little, and then you're all set to go. Both of these foundations match me well, so they may not look different now, but on my face and my texture I can feel this one is slightly more matte and this one's slightly more hydrating. So like I said, throughout the day, if you don't put a setting powder, you will see that little bit of a more shine. But this is my video today for that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that helped. And then I will be following up with the next video on how I apply the brows.